Hello, everyone. This is Miss Cat, and I'm here to discuss part two of young ladies and young girls knowing that your body is your temple. I wanted to do a part two because I wanted to go a little bit more in depth as far as your body's being your temple. And I wanted to focus more so on the young teenagers, the young ladies that feel like they are ready to start having sex or sexual intercourse, or they may already have started having sexual intercourse. And I wanted to kind of focus on you for part two. Now, of course, I can't stop you from making those decisions. But what I can do is give you a little information on some insight of how you are viewed and how others think of you and what's going on in the minds of other people, as well as some of the thoughts that you actually may have just by talking to other young girls myself. I wanted to focus on the uh, the facts and ask you a question on how much knowledge do you actually have, and what types of things are you thinking of, and what is your rationale behind wanting to start at such an early age. I wanted you to ask yourself some questions before you actually begin, if you're deciding that's what you want to do. Now, if you looked at my part one, you would know that I'm totally against having sexual relationships outside of a marriage, and that is my view. And scripture based is where I came from, and so what I wanted to do is just kind of focus on just the mindset, continuing talking about just the mindset. Again, I can't stop you from doing anything that you want to do, but I do want to just remind you that your body is your temple, and let you know that when you begin to think about some of these things, and as I said in the first video, sending sexual and naked videos, nude pictures, and different videos to your boyfriend, or just to any guy or any person of the opposite sex that wants you to send those pictures. A lot of times they give you compliments, and that's where we kind of left off on the last video. They give you compliments, and they tell you how beautiful you are, how sexy you look, how great your body is, and you begin to want more and crave more of that attention. So it begins by you starting to send pictures of yourself. Young girls start sending pictures of themselves in the shower, or just laying on their bed, and they begin to become explicit. So they go from nice to very inappropriate pictures. Guys will often lure young ladies in by telling them that they love them. That's the one thing that a young lady may want to hear, besides the fact that you're pretty and you're beautiful. So once the guy tell you that you love them, and they want you to send a picture, and then if you go somewhere with them alone, you have a tendency to feel that pressure to actually have sexual intercourse or oral sex. But I want you to notice, if you have already taken that step, I want you to notice that how long do they stay after that. Now, if you've been through this before, notice how long do they stay after that. They may stay long enough for a couple of more times or a couple of more rounds, but usually they're gone on to the next person. They've moved on, because it is pretty much at that age, middle school and high school, it's a status quo. and usually no one is that serious enough to stay in a relationship because, first of all, teenagers, they really don't know what a relationship means. They think they do, and the parents, we try to tell our teenagers, and of course they don't want to listen to us. And but I advise, if a young person, young lady is thinking about doing some things that may be deemed as what the world know as inappropriate, and having premarital sex, and just wanting to feel that love from a guy, and that in your heart that it's wrong, but you feel that pressure anyway. I advise you to go to someone and talk to that person. It could be your mom, but of course, a lot of times, teenagers, they may not necessarily want to talk to their mom because sometimes we as parents, we don't really want to listen. We're not ready for that. But if you have a great relationship with your mom, where you're communicating well, go and talk to your mom about it. If you have a great relationship with your grandmother, then talk to her. If it's your aunt, then talk to your aunt. If you have a relationship with a teacher or a counselor at school, then I advise you to go and speak with them. If it's someone in your church, it could be one of the mentors at your church, or the first lady at your church, or any person, an adult female that you deem as a great role model, someone that you can go to and talk to. Go and talk to them about just about sex and sexual intercourse. Talk to them first before you make these decisions, because a lot of times you don't do your research. You don't know about the different diseases that you can have or get from the sexual intercourse. You just you're in the moment and you're feeling good and you want to try it, or you're listening to what other people are saying, and you're looking at videos, you're looking at magazines, and you're looking at different movies. No one's around, and you just want to try some things, but you need to get the facts, because you're not wanting to listen to the adults as far as waiting until marriage, waiting until you're older, waiting until you're an adult, a legal age. Sometimes you're not wanting to listen to any of that. So please get the facts so you would know. A lot of young ladies, that is why you see the statistics as you do as far as young girls getting pregnant all the time. So you don't know look it up, do your research, Google it. Google your age on the computer and ask the question, how many preteens or how many teens become pregnant every year. You will be astounded of the fact of the numbers that you will see. Just Google the different diseases that teenagers gain from having sexual intercourse. They don't know about protection, of course. You're not thinking about any kind of protection. You're just in the moment and you're just living your life as you know, the excitement and the joy, and you don't think about the repercussions. But I advise you to speak with someone. Now, I'm not condoning having premarital sex. I'm not condoning that. I'm not for it at all. But I do want you to know that I do know that you are human and you do fall into peer pressure. So I do want you to know that you should go and talk to an adult about it before you make any type of decisions. You need to know about protection. You need to know about the different diseases that are out there. You need to know about just the do's and the don'ts, the ins and outs. You need to know about everything that comes with it. 9 times out of 10, after the guy get what he wants, he does leave that relationship. And guess what? They're going to talk about you. So trust me, they're going to talk about you. Your name is going to be spread around, especially in school. If it gets out and heaven forbid that you allow someone to videotape you. If you allow someone to videotape you, whether it's premarital, whether it's sexual intercourse, or whether it's oral sex, if you allow someone to video you, then that's pretty much a done deal, because they have your face in the video, and then they spread that video. It floats like crazy. It just spreads, and you have no control over that. So you need to really know the facts, the basic facts about these things about oral sex, about sexual intercourse, because you don't know. You think you know, but you don't know. And I just want you to go and speak with someone, whether it's at home, whether it's at church, or whether it's at school. Get the information, or whether you're just doing it on your own. Look it up, get the facts, because it is very important that you know what's going on, that you know the information that's out there. You do not need to be blindsided. You need to educate yourself. Educate yourself today. Okay? So I just want you to just know the facts. Know the facts. And you have a blessed, wonderful evening. And learn the facts. Okay? Educate yourself. Have a good evening.